Shelter and protection, the pine forests. Both the Appalachian and Carpathian Mountains are famous for their great forests and retain extensive stands of native and planted trees. Broad-leaved deciduous forests occur on the lower slopes, with coniferous trees more often present at higher altitudes. This is especially true of the lofty Carpathians, which hold huge forests of coniferous Norway spruce. Let me read that sentence again. This is especially true of the lofty Carpathian Mountains, which hold huge forests of coniferous Norway spruce. The Appalachians also have, especially in more northern parts, many native conifers, including species of pine, fir, hemlock, larch, and spruce. Millions of years of erosion have worn down the more ancient Appalachian ranges to rounded ridges and summits, although with much more rugged terrain of deep valleys and river gorges, and even on higher ground they support broadleaf forests remarkably rich in different trees and shrubs, as well as other biodiversity. The flora is richer than that of the Carpathians, probably because the north-south orientation of the North American mountain chains enabled trees and other plants to migrate during episodes of climate change. In Europe, the mountains tend to lie more west to east. The trees include several species of oak and beech, buckeye, hickory, holly, and maple. The remoteness, inaccessibility, and independent spirit of the human forest communities in both regions help to give rise to a richness of folklore, folk art, folk medicine, and folk music that echo the rich natural resources. In Appalachia, the waves of immigration, notably from northern Britain and Ireland, interacting with relict Native Americans and former slave populations, promoted musical diversity that has had an incalculable effect on the evolution of a range of contemporary popular music. In Transylvania, the cultural impact of life in formerly remote and scattered but self-sufficient communities was more through village crafts and decoration with floral and other rural motifs that had, for example, such huge influence on artists such as Constantine Brancusi. Both regions have been profoundly influenced by millennia of human activity. Like many mountainous areas, they are rich in coal and other mineral resources, as well as timber and forest products. The 19th and early 20th centuries saw much destructive logging in Appalachia, but the region is now being conserved in a network of protected areas. The lower slopes and valleys have mosaic ecosystems with forest, meadows, and pastures mixing, grading into one another and providing a range of ecological niches that supported a variety of flora, native and introduced. These human landscapes often include planted or replanted forests of direct practical value. In Transylvania, Scots pine, Pinus sylvestris, has been planted around villages probably since the 18th century to stabilize slopes and for shelter, timber, and firewood, perhaps too even as a barrier against a last wave of Tartar horse raiders. In Appalachia, Pinus virginiana is planted and well known for its great service as pulp in the paper industry. Oh, who doesn't just love the feel of stepping over a soft pine needle blanket on the ground during the late autumn walks? The soft shadow of the pines provides moist grounds, yet sunlight for small spring flowers and support the growth of berry shrubs that comfort birds during winter with shelter and food. Two unrelated deciduous woody plants with similar names and snowy white or pink flowers add springtime ornament to forest understories or edges and scrub in Appalachia and Transylvania. Both can be spectacular in flower. Flowering dogwood occurs on moist but well-drained forest soils in the eastern U.S. from Massachusetts to Florida. Dog rose is common in Transylvania, although easily confused with a number of closely related species. It also occurs sporadically across North America, often in disturbed habitats. Dr. John Ackroyd.